Hey guys, this is Rise and I'm here with Zand 101 for another Commentary of the Week. I think this is actually Commentary of the Week number 9, and now that the Pro League is back in regular session, not the Winners League, we're going to be going back to this Commentary of the Week every week for you guys to enjoy. And we got a long list of new commentators on that list, and actually some names you might already know as well. So there'll be some surprises as we go through these in the future. Anyway, this Commentary of the Week, as voted by you, is Jangbi versus Leta, playing on God's Garden. This is the game in Samsung Khan playing against OGN. So this is going to be a very interesting game here because both these players are considered to be top players of today, basically. I mean, Leta, we know that he's been playing great. He did great in the last Pro League. He tried to do as well as he could going into the singles leagues, but ultimately he didn't win anything, didn't get as far as he had hoped. So he wasn't able to bring it out. He wasn't able to get that win, even though he was doing so well in the Pro League. Jangbi, on the other hand, gets all the way to the end, but does not make it. He gets beat out at the last game, and unfortunately does not get another title to his name. So both these players certainly top tier, just not having won any of the winners or the single leagues this year, but certainly they're going to put up a very good game for us. And again, this is on the map's God's Garden, which is a little bit of an odd map. Zand, what do you think about this map? Do you think this is going to favor one race over the other, or are we going to be in for an even match?
This map is kind of interesting. It definitely reminds me of Loki 2 in that you have that protected natural. I don't know. I'm going to say it's going to favor Terran a little bit personally because they do have that rather easy to take first base and then an easy to take third, and I think that tends to favor Terran. I think we're definitely going to see a lot of shuttle play from Terran on this map, which is going to be definitely interesting to watch. I think it's definitely going to be up to Jangbi to really bring it to Leta, really see if you can rein in that sort of Terran shuttles. Just looking at the map now, it looks like your protected natural does have, not protected natural, protected expansion, sorry, it does have a ridge behind it, which tanks and the like can be dropped on it and start shelling that expansion. So I think that's definitely going to favor the Terran a lot, obviously, because they can just place those siege tanks up there. I haven't actually seen Leta play a whole lot. Actually, I know he's rather good, but I haven't actually seen any of his games, so I can't really commentate as to whether this will help his style or favor his style of play or not. It just looks like sort of standard 10 racks, 10 gateway opening from Leta. Probably going to pick up an expansion soon after this, after getting his Robo and Gas. What are your predictions, Rise?
Actually, I think that Leta may actually have his work cut out for him because Leta is looking at the statistics in his TVP matchup, he's actually only 54%. I say only because his other matchups is what gives him his high overall winning percentages. He's 67% ranked in both TVT and TVZ, so certainly TVP is his most difficult matchup. Now, Jangbi, on the other hand, is a Terran killer. Everybody should know this by now who's been following the scene for quite a while, because Jangbi, he has a 70% win rate against Terran players. I mean, that's just absurd. You don't see that these days. I mean, anything over 70% or above is like elite class, and he's there. He can do it. He can beat the best of the best in PvT. So I can only imagine that he's going to have a pretty, I'm not going to say easy time, but I think he'll be able to do it. And look at this, trying to break up that ramp, but Leta doing a great job of holding that SEV there, stopping it over and over and over, probably spamming stop to make sure that it doesn't move even an inch so that Jangbi can get up. And Jangbi is not going to get to see what's going on in Leta's base, but he has scouted him. He does know where he is, so he's got that going for him. And it looks like he's going to get that robotics facility up now, so he can probably get observers in. It's possible he'll go for a very quick reaver, but I'd say more likely, since he didn't get the scout in, he's going to go straight to observers and try to get a better feel for what Leta is doing here. But again, yeah, I got to agree with you. I think this map is slightly favored towards Terran, although you know, it still remains to be seen because they haven't played enough matches on this map to really give us a good statistical feel. There's only been about 3 games. This is the 4th game in TVP matchups in the Pro League anyway that's been played on this. So really the statistics at this point don't matter much because we just can't tell based off such a small pool of games. But I gotta think that, you know, Terran does have the advantage, like you were saying. If he goes dropships, he can drop on that ridge, and he can just tank that natural expansion that is hidden, or not hidden, but closed off by a little river of broken, unbuildable area. And it looks like that expansion has gone up so far for Leta, but not for Jangbi. Jangbi has not gotten his expansion up quite yet, and so he's actually going to be a little bit behind going into this. So I'm curious as to whether or not he's going to go for some quick pressure here. And I haven't actually seen his next tech building. There it is right there, robotic support base. So it looks like he's going to go for quick reavers, and considering he hasn't gotten an expansion himself, this is going to be key. He's going to need to pull something big off in order to keep the economic advantage that Leta has from really taking hold in this game. And I mean, he's going to have a reaver popping out very shortly, and the question is, will Leta have turrets up in time?
Just seeing that Leta's engineering bay is going down, I think he'll have plenty around. I think given that Jangbi did block the ramp with the Zealot, Leta's going to be expecting something a little bit, well, not cheesy, but going to expect some pressure from Jangbi. He's definitely, I think Jangbi should be able to do pretty well with this Reaver play that's coming out. I've seen a little bit of his Reaver drops, and I think they are quite strong. Like you said, it's definitely going to be key to see whether he will actually be able to achieve much with these drops. If he doesn't, he's going to be very, very far behind Leta in terms of economy, and that's going to be very detrimental to him. Actually, Leta's got quite a few turrets going up, so Jangbi's definitely going to have his work cut out for him. Looks like this shuttle's just pushing out now. I think we'll see that Jangbi's just going to expand right after this Reaver, and probably, I don't know, I think Arbiters might be rather strong in this map, but given that there are a lot of ledges around that expansion, he might choose to go carriers for late game tech. But it's a bit early to say now, I think. Looks like this shuttle's coming in now, going to be pushed away by those turrets. Pretty good turret placement by Leta. He's not really giving Jangbi much room to move. Actually, Jangbi's in a slight bit of trouble if he can't actually get this shuttle in soon. Looks like Leta's actually setting up for another expansion, so he's definitely going to be solidifying this economic lead, feeling that he is safe to do this, seeing that Jangbi has gone Reavers. So it looks like a bit of a failed drop so far. How do you think Jangbi's going to respond to this failed drop?
Well, hopefully he responds by getting his economy back in order, because like you said, Leta is getting another expansion. He's getting it ready at the very least, and you know, he's going to be able to protect that pretty easily now that he's got that first one. I mean, the second expansion, or I guess the outside natural expansion, however you want to call it, is actually pretty easy for a Terran player to defend. So right now, it looks like Leta's actually in a great position. As long as he keeps putting up these turrets, he's going to be in perfectly fine shape. And like you said, his turret placement has been awesome. I mean, it's covering his entire perimeter right here, and so that Reaver is having a lot of difficulty doing anything. But Jangbi, realizing that Leta may be going for this little bit a dud scarab there as Leta dances his SEV back and forth, but Jangbi certainly knows that he's got to make sure that he stops Leta from getting that next expansion as long as possible, and he'll be able to do that for a while. And looks like Jangbi is also getting another expansion of his own, so on the minimap we see another Nexus going up, so he's definitely going to get back in the economic game here, but he's certainly pretty far behind already. You can even tell just by his probe saturation that he's got a lot less in terms of mining units than Leta does, and more turrets trying to go up, and again, Jangbi trying to do whatever he can to prevent this from happening, but Leta is going to be able to take this expansion, and now he's going to be at 3 bases, and it's going to be 3 bases to 3 bases, except more SCVs for Leta than probes for Jangbi. And Jangbi, basically what he needs to do now is play the contained game a little bit and he's got to get another expansion up. It looks like he is at the bottom left. He's already on top of that to make sure he stays ahead of whatever it is Leta is doing. So we're seeing a very crazy macro game right here, very fast-paced macro game for that matter. I mean, just expansion after expansion after expansion. And then eventually we're going to see that Terran ball come out, and Jangbi's job is going to be to pick that off. But again, Jangbi is the Terran killer. He knows exactly what to do in this position, and he is not letting Leta take the economic advantage here, if he has any say about it, by trying to get that next expansion up. And surely he may even be getting another expansion shortly after that, considering that base that he just took has its own natural protected expansion that he can take for himself. And there we see the starport with the control tower. So we may be seeing dropships after all coming from Leta, and now it looks like we're actually going to see Jangbi trying to harass a little bit, although he's going to have some trouble as those tanks come to defend, and he's going to be forced back.
Yeah, it looks like you're saying, this is shaping up to be a very, very strong macro game. I think we'll definitely see as that Terran ball pushes out. I hope Jangbi chooses to tech to storm. I think that's definitely one of his greatest weapons. His storms are rather incredible. Just particularly in this matchup, I think I've seen games in which he's just been able to hose whole Terran armies just with these incredibly well-placed storms, and it looks like Leta's getting up a double armory, so definitely going very aggressively with his upgrades, and I can't see any forge for Jangbi, so it looks like he's going to be a bit behind in terms of economy and upgrades. So when Leta does choose to push out, it's going to be very hard for Jangbi to defend it and to continue to keep up his contain. It looks like a dropship is out for Leta, so it will be interesting to see whether he actually knows that the bottom left expansion is up. I mean, he's got to suspect that Jangbi is expanding somewhere. It's just as to where exactly that Leta's got to find out, I guess. It looks like he's sending out some vultures now on the mini-map to just scout around, I believe. Looks like he's loading up with Goliaths and tanks. Actually, two dropships out, so it'll be key to see whether Jangbi has any observers or anything like this in place, and it looks like he does have one, so he might be able to spot these drops and intercept with Dragoons. So if he does that, that'll definitely put Leta behind quite a bit, I think, and really bring the advantage back to Jangbi. And it looks like he's going to be able to intercept this dropship. Oh no, Leta actually changing course a bit. Possibly suspecting that there is that observer there and just trying to trick Jangbi, which is pretty intelligent play, I think.
Certainly it is, and I mean Jangbi is way on top of it too at this point. I think he's going to be able to do a pretty good job. And look at that, he's got two shuttles of his own, and now it looks like Jangbi has been caught. It looks like you know, Leta has found out exactly where he's hiding all of his units, but Jangbi very well prepared. He's got a Reaver and some goons. He's going to take out that dropship. No, it doesn't go down. He almost takes it out. Spider-Mine running through the between the pylon wall, actually. And here we see the first-person view. It looks like he's putting down a starport, so he may be going for arbiters. I don't know if you guys caught that, but it looked like we just saw a glimpse of a starport at the top left. It is, and a Templar archive, so we are probably going to see some arbiters, most likely anyway, which definitely is a good idea. I agree with you completely on terms of Jangbi's storms. They're definitely top of his class at the very least, if not beyond that, because I mean, we always talk about his panty-wetting storms that he had against Nada way back when he just stormed the entire map, and there were literally just groups of Korean girls screaming in ecstasy as he stormed the entire map, and basically Nada just had nothing to do against that. How do you stop, you know, that much storm? Storm does so much damage over that area that it affects, and it's just very difficult to try to react to that, and that certainly wins him the game. I mean, when Jangbi uses storms, it does appear to be imba, and again, these observers, the other key in this match, map hacks all around the base of Leta to see when he is is trying to move out. And this is key. This is so clever. This is something that players need to do more often. I mean, it's so often that a player can just lose a game because he didn't see something coming. He didn't have that scouting information. And a lot of times we'll see that with, say, Zerglings burrowed around the map in a ZV whatever match. You know, they get that perimeter and they can see, as long as they're looking at the mini-map regularly, which most pros do, they can see when there's a breach occurring, when someone is trying to move out and try to do some damage. And Jangbi completely able to anticipate everything from these vultures trying to go out and do some damage to dropships. And look at this, he's got 4 dropships of his own. Wow, that is a ton of dropships for a Protoss player to have. And now a siege vessel out to try to deal with both arbiters and observers. And now we are seeing that Terran ball push out. And the question is, can Jangbi take it down before he loses his bottom left base?
Yeah, those dropships are definitely going to come into play pretty soon. I think it's pretty smart for Jangbi to get those 4 dropships with speed to be able to respond to the dropships of Leta, and they'll definitely be able to help push back this Terran ball by using zealot bombs and that sort of thing to really punish the Terran army, Terran tanks in particular when they siege. And it looks like Jangbi does have High Templar out, so we will be seeing some storms, which I do quite like, because his storms are quite entertaining to watch. Looks like he's not going to commit to, oh yes, he's going to commit to this attack here. No? Yep. Sort of just dodging around with these shuttles here. Be interested to see whether he just has zealots or what loaded up in there. I think he still does have reavers. Actually, reaver goes down fairly fast. Zealots coming, oh, nice storms. Actually storming over his own shuttles, I believe. Pretty good. The question is whether it will be enough. Actually, no, I think Leta came out fairly firmly on top of that map, that particular fight there. So Jangbi in a little bit of trouble. I think he might lose this left base, this bottom left base here. So Leta definitely taking a lead, I think. Dark Templar out. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot, considering that science vessel's there. Yeah, it just gets taken down quickly. So Jangbi being pushed behind in this game again. He's actually going to lose both of these bases. I'm fairly certain, and he's going to have to do something pretty spectacular to come back from this, I feel. Leta's just going to be able to have a massive macro advantage as the game wears on, and I don't think Jangbi's going to be able to match it, to be honest. I think Leta's definitely, at this point, Leta's definitely going to win. It's going to be, he's going to have to do something spectacularly bad, or Jangbi's going to have to do something pretty amazing to come back. I didn't actually see whether how many of the shuttles he lost to those Goliaths. Actually, Leta hasn't actually transferred any CVs to those to that expansion. It looks like he loses both of those dropships, so that's a bit of a blow. But it's certainly not game losing for Leta at this point. I'm still curious as to why he hasn't transferred SCVs to his top right expansion. I didn't actually see any of the. Perhaps it's because Jangbi has his forces roaming around there a little bit, but I didn't actually see any SCVs at all. Did you, Rise? I'm actually a bit confused by that.
No, but I do know that he went up there running with some forces, and yeah, look at that. He's got a nexus. He's got 2 nexus up there of his own. So Jangbi knows that if he is going to stay in this match in any way, he's going to have to be on top of things like that. He's got to make sure. Oh, stasis going down. So he is using that arbiter. Good storms right over those vultures. The vultures get stuck. Now he's closing in. He is going to be able to clean up this small force. The stasis is going to help out as the tanks are frozen. That is a huge Dragoon force. Jangbi, although he did lose that 1 base, he may not be out of this game yet. I think he lost the 9 o'clock base as well. But still, I don't think he's out of this game quite yet, because Leta is also still only on 3 bases. So if Jangbi can just keep this advantage here, or try to keep Leta from getting any more advantage himself with storms like that all over tanks, great in the path of travel, he's going to be in very good shape. And losing an observer a little carelessly to a turret, but you know, so it goes in the game of StarCraft. I mean, right now Jangbi is getting up 2 new bases, and he's going to be, although he's probably almost mined out back at his main, he's got to make sure that he does a good job of making sure the new ones survive. And oh, nice mind drag into the defense matrix tank. That certainly helped a lot. And a lot of D-matrix going down for Leta. He's certainly making good use of that vessel. I'm surprised he's not using it to EMP at all, choosing to use all of his energy on D-matrices, which certainly aren't a bad thing, but they're going to make it very difficult when those arbiters start doing more damage. And look at this, Leta has gotten to that one base with all of his vultures, and he's going to try his best to take that out before it can be reinforced. And it looks like Jangbi is going back to reinforce it, but he may not get there in time. Those vultures may just take it out. Leta is coming in. He's trying to reinforce those vultures with his main army, and this could be it. This could be the turning point of the entire game. If this Nexus goes down, it's going to go down. The Nexus goes down, and now Jangbi only left with 4 bases. That top right one does have a couple of cannons there, and oh no! Those probes may get caught. No, it looks like they're going to make it for now, but those vultures are getting up to the top of the base, and they're going to be able to mine that up and probably take all of those out en route. And oh, almost mind drags into them, but no, they are going to make it. He cloaks them all the way up. Great moves by Jangbi to make sure that those probes do make it safely, making sure they stay cloaked. And look at this, he's going in for a stasis. He gets a couple off of the Goliaths, one on the Goliath, one on the science vessel. Not catching enough units in my opinion, but enough to keep cloak. But now cloak is gone anyway. He loses one of his shuttles. He gets one storm off on the group, but half of that is iced already. More storms, great storms over almost all the tanks here, now starting to do some damage, but it may be too little too late. Some mind drags, but not getting where they need to get to, and this is going to get cleaned up by Leta. Leta is not going to have too much problems taking this out at this point. Certainly Jangbi has to retreat once again, and Leta has just quite possibly secured his victory in this game by cutting off the lifeline to that top right base. And even though he's almost mined out himself, he's got a CC floating over somewhere. There it is right there as it goes over to the bottom left, and I think that Leta has certainly taken this game at this point as he takes out 3 Dragoons with authority, and he goes to take out the top right base to really finish it off. And the question is, can Jangbi defend this at this point? He's going to be very difficult trying to go in the uphill battle here. He's got a tank bomb, a zealot bomb on the tanks, but there are no other siege tanks to really make that work, and now he's got a small force trying to clean this up. A couple of storms going off. Looks like he did take out a couple of tanks there, but that's going to be it. And Leta, though, in the meantime, is pretty much mined out himself. So, I mean, this game is coming down to the wire. It's going to come down to whether or not Jangbi can take out this force and defend his base, but it looks like Leta is going to take out that Nexus, so no, Jangbi is going to be in a lot of trouble, and I don't know if there's anything he can do at this point to get back in this game.
Perhaps if he can take out Leta's new base, he might have a chance, and he isn't actually mined out, and I think he's only mined out in his main at this moment, so he still has a little bit left in bases at the moment. But if he can take down this new expansion of Leta's, he'll definitely have a bit more of a chance in this game. But it looks to be pretty well defended with tanks on that ridge, a bit of mines around. Although this floating command center might be taken out. Actually, Leta forced to move away, float his command center away. So his mining's definitely being disrupted. And if, oh no, Jangbi looks like he's moving away to intercept Leta's reinforcements. A nice EMP going off for Leta, probably stopping a stasis or something like that from the Arbiter, and the Arbiter goes down. So Jangbi trying to take out Leta's base, definitely what he needs to try to do, but I don't think he's not going to be successful in doing so, and he's definitely falling further and further behind in this game. I'm actually not sure if there is anything he can do at this point. He really needs to take another expansion and hold it for a while, and really just outlast this big push coming in from Leta, but I don't think he has the forces to do so. It looks like these forces coming in here doing an okay job, but pretty good storm again. But I think Leta should be able to clean this up. Actually, pretty good storms again. These tanks sieging going to be able to force those Dragoons away, I feel. Jangbi's doing a pretty good job of delaying this push from reaching his natural base so far, but he's losing a lot of forces in the process. So I think he's really just delaying the inevitable at the moment. And it looks like Leta actually has quite a few science vessels out. I think I saw about 3 or 4 there. before. That's quite a few for TVP, I believe, and looks like he's just going to secure this base for a bit longer and just allow this base's extra resources to kick in, so he'll be able to out macro Jangbi very soon. Looks like he's mined out at his natural expansion and is smartly floating a command center over to a new base and probably going to transfer SCV soon. I think Jangbi really needs to really needs to try and get another Nexus up. Otherwise, he's going to have absolutely no chance of coming back in this game. Just sort of patrolling around with a Dragoon skeleton crew. Actually, one of the aspects of this map I didn't notice till now is that there is a lot of ground that can't be built on for turrets, I think. I think that rocky sort of ground can't actually have buildings built upon it, so that does limit the Terran push a little bit, I think. Perhaps you could correct me on that, right?
No, I think you're right, actually, and what's nice about that is it looks like as long as the Terran tries to push around the outside of the center, he's all set. He's going to be actually pretty well able to do a good push, and honestly, I don't see him ever having the need to really push through the direct center of the map anyway, so this map may actually end up being Terran favored after all. And oh, EMP going off right before stasis can actually happen, and now Jangbi, honestly, there's probably not any way for him to actually get back into this game. As soon as he lost that base at the top right that he tried to get together, he certainly just lost. And oh man, just EMPs going over the Templar, the Arbiters, the Arca, everything. And like you said, that's a lot of vessels for a TVP matchup. We don't see it that often. And oh, Zealot bombs, but there are so many turrets and Goliaths that they're not actually able to get anywhere. And Jangbi, man, he's just got nothing. He's got nothing he can do at this point to get back into this game. And I'd love for them to click on one of these units here so I could see what the upgrades are, but it looks like they are not going to do that for me right now. Although I can only imagine, like you said, Jangbi's probably behind in the upgrades by quite a bit, and as soon as he clicks on something, I'll tell you, but at this point, it's hard to say. Well, alright, Leta is like 3-2, and Jangbi's got +2 weapons, so yeah, Jangbi's certainly behind quite a bit on upgrades. I mean, those tank shells are just going to melt them. And finally, GG coming from Jangbi. So, entertaining game, but the Terran killer goes down to the Terran prodigy, Leta, and Leta is just going to try to wipe his way through the Pro League again this season, see if he can stay at the top, and so far, he's doing a pretty good job. Zand, what do you think of that match? You got any final thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think Leta played a very, very solid game, but I think it was Jangbi's choice of build really that let him down. I think it was the choice of going that early Reaver harass that put him on the back foot for the entire game and really ceded that economic advantage to Leta, which he was able to Leta was able to solidify by taking out Jangbi's expansions pretty well throughout the game with just really strong pushes. I think Jangbi actually lost that game for himself with his opening build.
Yeah, I got to say that that's a pretty good analysis right there, and I agree with it. I think that, Jangbi just picked the wrong build from the start. Leta had a very economic-heavy build and very easy to defend to get that started, and as soon as he got that third base up, he just became a macro monster, and Jangbi could not catch up to him ever after he lost that fourth base at the bottom left. And once that happened, it looked like everything was just going in Leta's favor, and, well played from both of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed that latest commentary of the week. Zand, thank you very much for joining me all the way from Australia to do this commentary. I don't even know what time it is over there. I can only imagine it's like, I don't know, 6 at night or something. Or no.
It's 3 a.m. actually.
Oh my God. So yeah, thanks for squeezing that into your sleeping schedule. That's ridiculous.
It's alright. I don't sleep.
Why don't you tell everybody your YouTube page, and I'll also put it in the link for everybody who wants to check you out.
All right. It's Zand101 SC. I have a thread at sc2gg.com. I did a bunch of commentaries with another Australian commentator, Paspero, a little while ago, and I've been doing a few recently with another Australian one, Tuck Hog, and would be really glad if you guys went and check that out and left comments, criticisms, whatever. anything helps, I guess.
Cool. Well, you guys heard it yourselves. Go check Zand out and make sure you subscribe to him. And I guess I'll catch you guys in the next commentary of the week. Be sure to go to sc2gg.com and vote for the next commentary of the week, which is going to be a Pro League game of some sort. You'll have to decide what it's going to be. And as soon as you do, you'll see a new video coming from us with the next person on the line. So catch you guys next week and have a good weekend. Bye.